Hello YouTube, this is Ed and I'm Valley View Railway. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. Had a lot of overtime at work, just couldn't get to the layout like I wanted to. The last 2 weeks with the holidays I've actually got some time to work on it and got some production done for sure. As you saw in the intro, I do have trains running, which that was a milestone. It's been about 1.5 years since I started this project, and not that I was working on it all the time, but the limited time I got to work on it, I finally got all the wiring done. This is my first DCC layout, so it took a little research and watching a lot of you guys on YouTube to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm going to make this video kind of short and just show you a little overview what I did with the bench work and give you a little definition why I did what I did. And the little backstory, I had an N-scale layout back in the 1990s, and it was pretty large. It was 4 by 12, and unfortunately I didn't build it modularly. It was all one table pretty much, and it was with the wood I had on hand, so I used the heaviest materials possible, and it was just too much of a bear to move. So I got married, tore it down, and we moved to a new house and had every inspirations of getting it up and running again, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and I kind of got out of it for a while. So when I came up with this idea, and it was basically off of watching other model railroaders on YouTube, I got the idea of a modular layout that I could take down piece by piece or in sections and move them if I need it. And I'll show you a little bit underneath the bench work what I'm kind of talking about. But here we go down. All right, basically the legs all detach, and they detach from these pockets that I had made right there. 2 bolts, the leg will drop down, and I've done that on every leg. The backdrop, as you'll see below, this here is the support for my backdrop, and that also is 4 bolts for each backdrop up. So this backdrop here, this is one section here. Here's the divider line, it's another section, and it goes all the way down the layout, and I could remove that whole section. Each module, sorry about the camera work, and I hope I'm not getting people dizzy, but this is 18 inches wide and are 4 feet long modules, from there to there. And this is the only module that goes tapered. It's actually 25 inches in the tip. It goes down to 18 inches, and then, the rest are the same. They're 4-foot sections. I kind of landlocked the 2 sections in the middle. So these don't come apart, but it comes apart here. So you're dealing with, comes apart here. So you're basically dealing with a 8-foot long section that's roughly 20 inches wide. And this section is about the same here too. It's the same. It's 8 feet and that's 18 inches all the way through. So I could take the legs apart, and as you see here, this is also what I was meaning. Here's the supports for my backdrop. Those are the actual supports that lead up to the backdrop. So by just removing them 4 bolts, that whole section comes out. And so I could take all this stuff apart, and the legs can drop, everything can drop. There's my main wiring board, and that's also off a backdrop background. And it's just the same 4 bolts, and I just have to disconnect the 2 main wires going into the switch 8. And with that circuit over there, just disconnect the top wires, and all that would remain, the lower section, all the wiring would remain. And the wiring would basically stays underneath the bench work. And I got barrier strips to connect the sections that if I wanted to take them down, I could, to split the sections. All my Taurus machines I didn't solder them. I used those type of barrier strips you can get to plug into the bottom. I just find that a little easier, and it's easier to swap out a tortoise motor if it goes bad or if you just want to eliminate it. So I do like that, and as you notice, I do got more barrier strips around to connect the different sections. The sections are originally put together. Here I used brass furniture pins like you see on dining room tables. Those are my alignment pins. So I actually drilled the two sections together, and then I installed the pins as they were clamped down. So they're there. It's furniture working. It's not perfect, but it would align it. This section here, I got this part here is lightly glued down, and that's my kind of my expansion gap for taking the part. This here has only got glue. This part of the track here has only got glue on it. This is its own piece. The wire's been soldered to it. So if I split the section, I could pry that out and put that back as long, this short piece here. So this track is permanently down, but this is lightly put down. And I did that so I could split it. And the reason as I did it this way is I mentioned before, I didn't want to tear down the layout and start over. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I just got back into the hobby, and I'm just starting to enjoy it again. And I don't really want to do that again, because we are kind of talking about moving maybe in a few years. I could use this as part of the new layout. If we move, I could also tear it down and start over. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. It all depends if you got a better idea, which happens all the time, because as everybody knows, this hobby just continues to grow. And it's the fun part about it. You always got something to do on it, which that's why I'm taking my time with it. So, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Press the like button if you like it. I know it's kind of a lot. It was kind of not rehearsed, so I'm sorry if I fumbled some of the words. But definitely I'm going to have more videos out coming up. And now that we're into the fun stuff, the scenery making and some op sessions, maybe some guys running it, we'll make videos on that too. But I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Subscribe if you like what you see, and have everybody have a happy new year. Be safe, and we'll see you next year. Thanks. Bye.